Breaking news! What if I told you that the Baltimore Ravens were just handed the secret weapon to take down one of the NFL's most dangerous offenses, and it didn't come from inside the division, or even the AFC? No, this game-changing blueprint came from a team most Ravens fans never even think about, and it just might be the difference between a Monday night meltdown and a season-defining statement win. But before we move on, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team, and if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," in the chat to let everyone know where you stand. Now, let's dive into exactly what that secret is, and how it could completely flip the script against the Detroit Lions. In week 1 of the NFL season, the Green Bay Packers put on a clinic against the Detroit Lions in a game that, on the surface, ended 27-13. But don't let that score fool you, it wasn't even close. The Lions were dominated in every facet of the game, and their only touchdown of significance came with less than a minute left. A garbage-time miracle grab by Isaac Tesla that did little more than boost fantasy scores. What matters for us is how Green Bay dismantled Detroit. And now, Baltimore has the tape. Baltimore has the formula. Baltimore has the gift. Green Bay's strategy was surgical. While most teams fall into the trap of blitzing Jared Goff, a quarterback who thrives under that pressure with quick reads and elite playmakers, the Packers didn't. Jeff Hafley flipped the script. Last season, Green Bay blitzed Goff on 41% of his dropbacks. But in this matchup, only 4 blitzes on 44 dropbacks. That's a 9.1% blitz rate, a massive drop from their past approach. Instead, they let their front 4 do the work, and it paid off big time. Detroit's dynamic duo in the backfield, Lamar Gibbs and David Montgomery, affectionately dubbed Sonic and Knuckles, were rendered completely ineffective. The two combined for just 2.7 yards per touch. That's including runs and receptions. Individually, Gibbs averaged 2.1 yards per carry, Montgomery just 2.3. This is the same backfield that in 2024 was bulldozing defenses for 5.6 and 4.2 yards per carry respectively. Against Green Bay, stonewalled. But perhaps most damning was the way Jared Goff was neutralized. Just 225 passing yards in a game where Detroit was trailing throughout. His expected points added per play, a mere 0.9. Average yards per completion, a shockingly low 3.3. He looked uncomfortable, hurried, and out of rhythm, exactly how you want him if you're a Ravens fan. So now the question becomes, can the Ravens replicate this formula? That's the million-dollar question. Baltimore doesn't blitz often, just 17.5% of the time this season, ranking them 27th in the league. On paper, that's a good match for the strategy Green Bay used. But here's where it gets tricky. Green Bay got pressure without blitzing. Baltimore must do the same, or the whole plan falls apart. Detroit's offensive line has only allowed 14 pressures on 72 pass block snaps this season, ranking 7th best in the NFL. That means if the Ravens are going to make Goff uncomfortable, it has to come from the front 4, no extra help from linebackers or DBs. So who needs to step up? Justin Matabike is always the centerpiece, but it goes beyond him now. With Kyle Van Noy out for multiple weeks, this is the time for guys like Mike Green and Tavius Robinson to rise. They don't need to be spectacular, just disruptive. Apply heat, collapse the pocket, force Goff into mistakes. And let's talk about Anthony Esopoulos. If you missed last week's game, this man cooked a 3-time All-Pro in Wyatt Teller with a savage swim move and then finished the play like a seasoned veteran. Ravens fans, if he can repeat that kind of performance against Detroit's interior line, where Mahogany and Ratlick have already allowed 4 pressures each, that could be the key to unlocking this entire defensive scheme. Goff is a different quarterback when he's rushed. Chicago learned that the hard way when they tried to rush 4 but failed to generate pressure. Goff torched them for 52 points. He had all day to throw. If Baltimore doesn't get home with 4, it could be the same story. Because here's the truth, this game might come down to just a few plays in the trenches. And when we're talking about defending a quarterback like Jared Goff, especially when he's backed by an elite offensive line and surrounded by explosive weapons like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Lamar Gibbs, you don't get the luxury of second chances. You either get to him, or you get picked apart. That's how thin the margin is. And Ravens fans know that better than most. This franchise has always prided itself on elite defense, on swarming the quarterback, on disrupting the timing of even the best offenses. But we're not in the days of Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis anymore. Now it's up to a new generation. It's up to a hungry group of defenders, many of whom are still trying to make a name for themselves, to answer the call. And what better stage than Monday Night Football? Let's zero in on the matchup a little further. Detroit's offensive tackles, Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker, have been rock solid. They're not the weak point. The soft spot, if there is one, is on the interior. That's where Mahogany and Ratlick have shown signs of vulnerability. Both have already allowed 4 pressures each in limited snaps. That's where Baltimore needs to attack. That's where Sapples and Matabike must win, consistently, not occasionally. Because if the Ravens can collapse the pocket from the inside, Goff won't be able to step up into his throws. That's when he starts to panic. That's when his accuracy dips. That's when turnovers happen. And that's when the crowd at M/NT Bank explodes. But let's not forget, this isn't just about defense. It's about complementary football. If Baltimore's offense can control the clock, keep the ball out of Goff's hands, and capitalize on even the slightest momentum shifts, it will make life even harder for the Lions. And for that to happen, the offensive line needs to hold strong, and Lamar Jackson needs to be sharp, not flashy, just efficient. Sustain drives, hit the open man, and punish Detroit if they dare to send pressure. There's also the chess match between coordinators to consider. Mike Macdonald, one of the brightest young defensive minds in the game, has undoubtedly spent hours poring over that Packers tape. He knows what worked. He knows what didn't. But knowing isn't enough. Execution is everything. He'll need to disguise coverages, shift fronts, and rotate personnel to keep Detroit guessing without sacrificing the core principle, pressure with 4. And let's not pretend like the Lions will walk into this one flat-footed. Dan Campbell is no fool. He's seen the same film. He knows Baltimore will likely replicate Green Bay's strategy. He'll come in with counters, quick screens, draw plays, bootlegs to get Goff moving outside the pocket, all designed to neutralize the Ravens' front. That's why edge containment will be just as important as interior disruption. Set the edge, don't overpursue, and force Goff to beat you with tight window throws. This is why the margin for error is so thin. This is why every down matters. One blown assignment, one missed sack, one mistimed stunt, it could all unravel. That's the pressure facing Baltimore's defense right now. Not just to perform, but to dominate. And yet, despite the stakes, there's this quiet confidence brewing in Baltimore. You can feel it. A belief that this unit, banged up, under the radar, doubted by many, can rise to the moment. That this front 4 can be the difference. That Monday night isn't just another game, it's a proving ground. So I'll ask again, do you believe? Do you believe this defense can step up without Kyle Van Noy? Do you believe Matabike and Sapples can be the tone setters? Do you believe Mike Green and Tavius Robinson are ready to shine under the lights? Because if the answer is yes, if this team can replicate Green Bay's success, then Baltimore isn't just winning this game. They're sending a message to the entire NFL. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Can the Ravens defense deliver the pressure with just 4, or will Goff have too much time to work? And if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit that button so you don't miss a single breakdown, update, or highlight from the Baltimore Ravens all season long. Smash the like button if you believe in this team, and check out the video on your screen right now for even more Ravens coverage.